This is a 1951 Ford F1 pickup truck, and we're going to take it for a quick spin. It's got a 302 with a V8 with an automatic transmission, and the automatic transmission linkage has been hooked to the original 3-speed on the column shifter, which is, I think, really cool. Cool way to preserve the interior look. One thing that I have noticed is that in going to shift the gears, just positioning this perfectly has been a little bit of an issue. So I was playing with the shifter there just a little bit, but shifts through the gears good, and this runs down the road like a champ. It is an old truck, and I'm going to hold my finger up here to show that it has it's got what I would call a normal amount of play for other trucks that I've had just like this. So a little bit of play. You can see I'm driving successfully straight down the road, so no problems with driving it. This is maybe something I might call an easy project. It just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for just like a shop truck, honestly, there's only a couple of little things that need to be done to this truck to make it what I would call daily driver reliable. Little squeaky belt there. So I'll show you that. Take a listen to this engine. It really runs great. It's a really nice, clean sounding engine. And I'm gonna shut the engine off so we can talk a little bit without the noise. Really clean engine detail underneath it. I love these old Cobra. Really, these are Mustang valve covers and air cleaner. The 21-inch air cleaner is kind of unique. They're really big, but they look really good. And the engine hasn't really been detailed out much. It's I have no idea what year it is, or how old it is, or how long ago the rebuild was, but I do know that every time I've come out here and turned the key on it, it fires up instantly. So inside, the firewall is rust free, as well as the inner fender wells. And I have not seen it overheat. It's got a thermometer on the inside, and I actually left it just idling in the driveway while I was detailing it for about 15 or 20 minutes, just sitting there not even moving, and didn't see it get over 160. It just stayed right at 160. So primer gray, consistent from bumper to bumper. And the wheels are original with new hubcaps and beauty rings, and they look nice and clean. Tires are not matching, and they're older. A couple of the tires are pretty low tread, and a couple of the tires, this one tire in the back has a good tread, almost like new, and the rest of the tires look pretty old. They do hold air, and I've been driving them around on them. But you know, that might be one of the first things to do, is throw a set of tires on it. Depends on what you want to do. I don't want to mess with it because I never know what the next guy wants. And a truck like this, I kind of wanted to leave it alone because I don't know, I just thought it was really cool. You know, 51 and 52 is the only year they did the grill like this and the hood. Of course, 48 through 52 they made the F1, and 53 they switched over to the F100. Getting up closer on the truck, there's little, you know, paint peels and little dings and scratches kind of all around it. Nothing to me that merits any major body work. Right here on that hood and across the front grille, all nice and straight. Hood's nice and straight as well, with no rust. Little spot of rust right here, kind of coming through just a little bit. Other than that, this front fender's in pretty good shape. And a little spot down here, just being real nitpicky. So here's one spot of rust here. It's got a little hole here on the back of this cab. Then the bottoms of the doors are actually in really good shape, and the cab corners as well. little spot of rust here, and the bed. Now I'm not 100% positive, but this I can't tell. This might be a 48 bed. I know there was a couple of years, and actually, no, maybe it was the other way. I know there was only a couple of years where they did the indention like that. Crease here, looks like somebody backed into it. And now you've got a spot of rust down here. Tailgate appears to be in pretty good shape overall. A little separating here on the metal. I'm just trying to nitpick it. You know, the thing is I know that I rarely ever meet a customer face to face, so I always try to do these videos. Back fender, it looks really good. Coming around to this side of the bed, a spot of rust here. Cab corner is in great shape, and they appear to be original. I didn't show the underneath on the other side, but I will. Bottoms of the doors on this side good until about this spot here, and then the rest of the way around in good shape. All the glass, or really it would be the windshield and the rear glass, appear to be original. Still have the old safety Ford glass stamp on them, and I don't think that the glass has ever been replaced, so it's got really old wiper scratches on there, but you can still see through it and it looks great. You know, it depends on what you want to do with the truck. Same with the back, you know, a little you know, separation happening that gives it that patina around it. The glass in the doors has been taken out. The previous owner was going for a taking the vent window out. That's what they were going to do, but they still hadn't. All they basically did was take the glass out, and that's it. So you could replace the vent window frame and put new glass in and do it original style, or you could put a whole glass vent window delete kit in. So that's the glass that does not have door glass on either side. It does have the regulators in there. They seem to be free and they seem to be functioning. So it does have the regulators in there. Like I said, doors look to be in good shape. Bottoms of the doors are clean and rust free. And so for the few spots of rust that I was real careful to point out, I am not saying this is a rust bucket at all. This truck is, you know, pretty clean overall. Make a great shop truck. And that's the thing. The value, again, to me, I say again just because I say this in other videos and other vehicles just like this. The value to me is in what it is today, which is pretty much a running and driving, almost pretty, except for the windows. I mean, the summer wouldn't even matter. A roadworthy truck. You know, engine fires right up, transmission shifts great, the brakes all work good, the lights work. Actually, I don't think the brake lights are cooking up, and I think it's just because of the brake light switch. So anyways, original dash in here, and not cut up or anything. Somebody fitted these aftermarket gauges just in the spot where their old radio goes, but they did not cut it, which I really appreciate. Original floor pan on that side. All this looks pretty good. Somebody did a little patch there. Maybe it was trying to get to the transmission for fluid. It is missing the cap there for the master cylinder, and then there is a piece of steel here that somebody just riveted in as a little patch. And then it's got bucket seats. And normally I don't like bucket seats in these trucks. I really like the bench seat. But I will make an exception for this one after I've driven it a few times. I just like the fact that somebody put 60s model, you know, mid 60s model seats in this thing, or even late 50s model seats from something else. I don't know exactly what they're from. I don't know if they're from an old Mustang or a Fairlane or something. They don't have spots for a headrest on the top. And I guess what I'm saying is that finally somebody at least put some sort of a kind of quasi period correct bucket seat in it. I just hate it when people throw like 1989 S10 seats in here and they look ugly as crap. So at least these are old school looking bucket seats. So there you have it. I know I went on and on about that, but I'm always a sucker for throwing a bench seat back in it if I can. But I might actually leave these. They're very comfortable. They actually do adjust when you pull on them. At least on the driver's side. I haven't sat on the passenger side. It's got seat belts already installed. It's got a new gas tank. I haven't seen any leaks out of this truck. Little spot of rust there in the step up. Not crazy about this exhaust. It's not my favorite, but it's kind of, you know, to each his own. Nice solid frame rails is what I'm looking at here. It looks like the original bedwood back there. And the back of these floor pans from underneath in really good shape. Not seeing any major rust here. Same thing. That was one of the reasons why I scooped up this truck, was because I just felt, come on now, my camera needs to adjust. I just felt like overall this was a pretty clean truck for what it is. And to me, this is a shop truck. And you know what, if you're a body guy and you want to do in a welder, it wouldn't take a couple of days to cut out and fix these few spots of rust and fix them up if you were trying to go for a little bit straighter vehicle. But again, as I said before, to me, the value in this truck, a little bit of rust there at the bottom, you can see through that separation. The value in this truck is as is. It's as is. Throw some windows in it and a heater and just drive it. Step up on this side. Again, original floor pans, frame rails, all that in great shape. This is uncut, you know, original frame. And I think it's a super cool truck. You know, try to point out everything that I can that's not just right with it, but that's wrong with it. But great driving truck. It's super fun to drive around town. To me, the only project on the list would be get those brake lights wired up, put some glass in the doors. Maybe if I want to drive it in the winter, throw a heater in it. I can't remember. Let's see if it's got a heater in it. It might just need to be, it might need to switch. Yeah, it's actually got a heater in it. Probably just needs to be hooked up. So get the heater working, get the glass in it, brake lights working, and just drive it. Maybe troubleshooting the linkage a little bit. Like I said, I've played with firing it up and put it in reverse and kind of slide down. Okay, there it is. Kind of pull down neutral. Okay, there's drive. Oops, I thought I got it in second instead of drive. Push it back up a little bit. A couple of times. I mean, you know, it's just a little issue synonymous with owning an old truck like this that's had some modifications. But the fact that it's got the 302 and the automatic transmission is a huge upgrade in my opinion. And the fact that it's got an uncut frame is also nice because nobody's botched it. So it's fresh for you to enjoy like it is, or make it a fun winter project and, you know, make it like what you want it to be.